शंकर बोलेगा चाय दे देगा.
So we are live, Robert.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from wherever you are joining us from across the globe. A warm welcome to this plenary, and it is my pleasure to introduce you to this session, which will be talking about the need to become a 3.0 person to create a 3.0 world. Now, to take us through this session and to introduce us to the speakers is our moderator, Dr. Suraj Kumar, advisor, Kalinga Institute of Social Sciences, and chief mentor at NITI Foundation. Please note that each speaker has 5 minutes and there will be a timer. There will be a bell at the 3rd minute and a second bell on the 5th minute. Over to you, Dr. Suraj.
Let me just, hi, first of all, welcome everybody to plenary session 6, and on a very critical theme as to what is the role of individuals or people, okay, in creating a 3.0 world, okay. I mean, I'm just reminded of a statement by Mahatma Gandhi that, you know, making change does not require brave resolution. It requires brave action, where everyone has to be the change they wish to see. So the idea behind this session is a very good one. We have a very distinguished panel, and I certainly, my role is as a moderator is a facilitator. So after each speaker speaks, and at the end, I might try to take a couple of minutes to sum up, okay, some of the points that have been made. Without further ado, let me invite the first speaker, Robert, I think is Mustafiz, with the presentation. Hello.
Hi, Dr. Shuros, thank you. Should I start my presentation?
Yes, please.
Thank you. So I have a presentation I would like to share with our audience. So can you see my presentation?
Yes.
Great.
Yes.
Great. So thank you, Dr. Shuros Kumar, for giving me the floor. Hi, everyone. My name is Mustafiz Rahman. I'm managing the research and innovation portfolio of YO Ventures and also the 3.0 Club. At YO Ventures, it's an incubation and investment company that supports early stage social entrepreneurs who fight carbon emission, poverty, and unemployment. Now, today, I'm really happy to be here and also to share my presentation. The topic today is need to become a 3.0 person to create a 3.0 world. So the question is, what is a 3.0 world and how we can create this world? Creating a 3.0 world is a big, bold vision, right? And also it's a fiction. So how we can make this fiction into a reality? Our friend from France, a 19 years old university student, once asked the same question. How can we create a 3.0 world where there will be zero net carbon emission? So after that, he thought he should take a small action every day on a regular basis that will contribute to the environment, positive environmental change. So what he decided, maybe taking a 20-minute shower, he can take a short shower. Or instead of using car every day, he can use a public transportation maybe once in a week. Or instead of littering waste here and there, he can just throw them in a specific place. So when Maxim was thinking and doing this small action every day on a regular basis, he was thinking, what should I do next? So with that realization, he decided to invite other people, other young people just like himself, to join into the action, to join into the movement. So he decided to develop a mobile application. The name of the mobile application is One Save a Day. And right now the mobile application has 10,000 users who are taking small action just like Maxim every day. Like for example, taking a short shower, or taking bus instead of private car. And if you think this small action doesn't have any value, but when you consider there are 10,000 users using this application and following environmental conscious action, that creates a lot of value and that creates a bigger impact. Our very own Professor Mohammad Yunus, he gave a vision to everyone, to every young people around the world, to create a world of 3.0, because he believes young people has the power to create a world of 3.0. And that 3.0 world is basically a world where is zero net carbon emission, a world with zero oil concentration, zero poverty, and also a world where is zero unemployment. So how we can create this world? We have a lot of young people like Maxime who are creating or trying to take positive action to create this world. Like Maxime, you can take small actions and that will contribute to the positive change of the world. And when you start taking small positive action yourself, you will create positive impact to the environment. You will try not to impact on the issues such as like poverty or oil concentration. And then you can become a 3.0 person. A 3.0 person that is trying to create a world of 3.0. And after that, the next step is how you can become a 3.0 family. So once you be a 3.0 person, you can translate the idea to your family later. Like you can encourage the member of your families to take positive action to create a world of 3.0. For example, the family members can be encouraged to segregate their waste or encouraged to take private car instead of, encouraged to take bus instead of private car. And also maybe encouraged to not to do anything that will drive the oil concentration as well. So once you become the 3.0 family, you can become a 3.0 organization. You can translate the idea to organization level and try to create positive impact for the community, for the nation, from the world. And after that, you can create a 3.0 country, like a country that doesn't contribute to the 3.0 problem. And you can see, like Maxime, I have a 4 example where not only become a 3.0 person, but they are encouraging other people to become a 3.0 person as well. They're building 3.0 organizations. And in my experience, I have seen many of them. So now I would like to invite all of you through this session is to become a 3.0 person, taking small steps first and create a world of 3.0 together. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Fiz. We have our next speaker. I think it is Daniel.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Can you hear me?
Daniel, please. Yes, we can hear you. Daniel, over to you. I was just trying to spot you on the screen.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you also for that presentation, Mr. Fiz. I think it gives us a good place to begin this conversation. My name is Daniel Ayabra. I'm from Uganda. Work in Kampala. And my organization is iAfrica Foundation, we're a youth empowerment organization, and we are proudly associated with the concept of social business. And currently, we are actually running a project to increase on the stakeholder and building the ecosystem, actually the social business ecosystem, to be able to support this bus that we are trying to put on road regarding social the 3.0 world. So for me, really, this is a very interesting conversation, because for you to achieve anything, you must first become the person that will be worth achieving that thing. So becoming a 3.0 person is really what we all have to aim at for us to achieve a 3.0 world, whether it's at individual level, whether it's at organizational level, at any level, for us to gain the trust of this message that we are spreading about the 3.0 world, we must be the first beneficiaries and people influenced by this. And so when I relate the topic of the 3.0 person to a new civilization that we're trying to create, it brings me back to the concept of civilization. We've heard about 4 civilizations, okay, past recorded civilizations, starting from the Egyptian civilization. You look at the Greek, the Roman, and now most recently Europe and the USA. They have always been driven by 2 factors. Number one is the driver, who is usually the empire. And then number 2 is the motivation behind that. So because there have been usually geographically moved civilizations, those empires have been the ones that have been running the civilizations, driving them. But again, the motive has been to benefit them as a society or as a community. So you'll find that the Romans had their own period of about 1,000 years, and there was a lot of growth, but everything was aimed to benefit the Romans as they are. And so when we come to the most recent, which is about 300 years ago, Europe and America, you can see through the industrial revolutions, a lot has been done, but has been again to benefit the people who are actually driving this revolution. So social business 3.0 club, this is the revolution of the future and starting now. And I think we should all be proud to be part of this movement, because number one, the driver for this is the whole world. It's not geographically constrained to one area. And the motivation is for all of us to benefit. So what does that mean for the person or the institution becoming a 3.0 person or a 3.0 institution? Number one, we need to come up with we need to develop this attitude of working together as a community. And this, I think, we shall have to have another platform where we come up with a value system where all of us have the same philosophy and clearly can explain the philosophy and the same values to be able to be of the same mind. It means we shall be learning with that philosophy in mind of what do I have to act like as a 3.0 person. I'll just give one example of what we need to do is to build trust by being people of integrity, institutions of integrity. If we promise something to the world, let's deliver it and let's live it, just like Professor Yunus lives. I think my time is up, but for me, if I was to advocate for something, it's now for us to now be clear on our philosophy and on our values as 3.0 club people, such we are able to align everything that we do in that direction and gain character. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Daniel. You put the idea of civilizational transformation, going beyond boundaries and reaching out, which is the message of a lot of great spiritual leaders across the planet also. I would like to now invite Susan Gibson, who is sort of a really great philanthropist and an extremely inspirational person for all of us. Susan, can I request you to please take the floor?
Thanks, Dr. Kumar. I'm absolutely thrilled to be here. I've been a friend of Professor Yunus's and sorry, I've set my timers too quickly. I've been a friend of Professor Yunus's and the organization for a long time, more than 30 years. I'm from Toronto, Canada, living in Washington, DC now. I'm thrilled to be here because I'm a trainer by profession, and being a part of the 3.0 convention yesterday, seeing these pioneers, I just want to do a quick shout out to having heard their fantastic initiatives really gave me hope, and it filled me with absolute joy, super happiness. I thought Yassine from US, Hadija from Malaysia, Stephanie from Philippines, Inez from France, Mega from India, Abdullah from Bangladesh, all supported by the 3.0 center staff. It was so exciting. As you know, I'm the next generation, so watching these young people come up was really great. So a shout out to all you guys. We are behind you 100%, and we have to try and support you as best we can. I wanted to focus my comments on supporting 3.0 leaders and team members to be as effective as possible. As a trainer, that's my interest. So the key we heard a lot about yesterday was communication and connection to one another so that we can effectively work together towards a common goal. I wrote a book called How to Be an Amazing Volunteer Overseas, which Professor Yunus very kindly wrote the foreword to. And he talks about in the foreword taking little steps, how we can make the world a better place. And he encourages you to follow that desire by taking initiative and being creative. And those of us on the outside want to support those. We want to provide a supportive environment. Accompanying that book, there's a website called amazingvolunteer.com, which is open to anybody. There's including a link to the 30 Club under more resources, but you'll find lots of ideas there about motivation, inspiring people, useful networks, tips about planning and communication skills, being a good team player. The importance of learning from one another is achieved by mutual respect and good communication. And we all have to work at that on a regular basis in order to have good relationships in our team. Of course, my perspective as a Canadian coming from North America, I want to try and support those enough who are lucky to travel, to volunteer or work. But the principles apply just the same in your local community. It boils down to being a good guest in whatever community you're working in, and listening and learning from people rather than trying to tell people what to do. My firsthand experience came from this when I went to Bangladesh more than 30 years ago. This is before the internet and email. I know you young people can't imagine this, but I was at grad school in Vermont in the United States, and I saw a video of Professor Yunus in Grameen Bank, and I immediately made my plans that to go to Bangladesh. And I decided that that I just had to learn and absorb that information and then do my best to share that information. I ended up working in 70 countries talking about these issues of how to provide access to credit. But I just want to say thank you very much for having me here. If I can support you in any way, please let me know, and keep it real with 3 zeros. Thank you.
Fantastic.
Okay, yeah. Thank you very much, Susan. The sort of the gung-ho spirit,
Yes,
that, is so evident, and it is so refreshing.
Thank you, Suraj.
Thank you, Suraj. So thanks a lot, Susan. Our next speaker is just 1 second. Is Dr. Hiroshi Osaki. And I really look forward to his perspective now. Dr. Osaki? I mean, this is the order of the speakers.
Welcome.
こんにちは。吉本興業ホールディングスの大崎です。ユースプロダクションの代表取締役社長も務めています。
Good evening, I am Hiroshi Osaki, Representative Director and Chairman of Yoshimoto Kogyo Holdings. I also serve as the Representative Director of Yunus Yoshimoto Social Action.
私たちは3つのゼロの社会を目指して、去年の夏から日本のアジアのゲートウェイ沖縄県で休眠的に活用してソーシャルビジネスインキュベーションを推進する事業を島全部で23年をスタートしました。
We launched Uchina Social Action powered by Yunus Social Business with the intention of creating a society of 3 zeros, zero poverty, zero unemployment, zero carbon emission filled with smiling faces.
マハマド・ユヌス先生の提唱するユヌスソーシャルビジネスモデルに基づきビジネスインキュベーションを行い、結果として沖縄県41市町村にさまざまなソーシャルビジネスを立ち上げる、それらが持続可能になることで沖縄県のソーシャルビジネスの人たちに関わる準備を行っていきます。
As a result, incubation of various social businesses will take place in all 41 cities, towns, and villages in Okinawa Prefecture. They will become sustainable businesses, maximizing the use of the Yunus social business model with the intention of making Okinawa Prefecture a social business island where social businesses will be the flag bearers. Yoshimoto Kogyo Group will work together as one force to make this a reality.
まず、島全部で23などを開始する達成経緯を発表します。沖縄県では2009年から沖縄全土の込んだ4月に島全部で開催という映画祭を開催しています。この取り組みを基調として、年間数十の市町村によく発信すること、 の実証者に配置し、これは沖縄県の取り組みを通じて頻繁な教育機会の必要が沖縄が抱えている社会問題に気づくことができます。
First, let me explain the background that led to the launch of Uchina Social Action. Since 2009, Yoshimoto has organized the Okinawa International Movie Festival, which is held annually in the month of April. This festival brings together all the islands of Okinawa. One of the features of this festival is that we focus on promoting the local municipalities of Okinawa throughout the year. Yoshimoto comedians are assigned to each of the municipalities and work on a daily basis to help the local community. Through these initiatives, we have been able to identify the social problems that exist in Okinawa, such as poverty and lack of educational opportunities.
このような取り組みを10年以上で展開する中、課題に対応で楽しみながら解決できないか、社会問題という少しの話を人を笑い、笑顔にする笑いの力で解決できないか考えていました。ユース、商品ユニスと出会いました。
We have been engaged in similar initiatives island-wide for more than a decade. Therefore, we started to think on how we could solve social problems with joy while highlighting issues in each area, and how we could solve complicated social problems with the power of laughter. At that time, we found out about Yunus social business, which provides a necessary sustainable framework for tackling social issues with joy and rather than maximizing profits. We realized the value and the impact that we could make on the society through a partnership between Yoshimoto Kogyo and Professor Muhammad Yunus. Therefore, we established a joint venture called Yunus Yoshimoto Social Action, YYSA. The mission of the project is solving social problems through the power of entertainment. Our comedians who live in all 47 prefectures team up with the local startups and residents to come up with the innovative ideas to solve social problems. Currently, we have various ongoing projects in all 47 prefectures. Through the development of social business incubations in Okinawa Prefecture, we create educational and entrepreneurship opportunities on how to solve social issues through business. As the first step of this project, we organized the Shima Love Social Business Contest powered by Yunus Social Business, coinciding with this year's Okinawa International Movie Festival. 14 groups presented their social business ideas after going through a series of workshops for a period of 4 months, where they learned how to present their business plans and start their own businesses in the future. The Grand Prix was awarded to the Ashtane project, which received nearly half of the total number of votes casted. The team is working to create opportunities for children and young people who have difficulties in life due to withdrawal from society, truancy, disabilities, and other reasons. Although Japan is considered as a developed country, withdrawal from society and truancy are major social problems in Japan. We were able to hold a business contest unique to Yoshimoto Kogyo in Okinawa, where social business ideas were presented in a way where they support each other and bring smiles to people's faces. We plan to contribute and continue to provide support to these teams that want to take on the challenge of starting their own businesses. Starting this summer, we are planning to conduct mobile incubation workshops in all 41 cities, towns, and villages in Okinawa Prefecture. Utilizing our network that we have established in Okinawa, we plan to hold seminars, workshops in various locations to the understanding of social businesses and provide a foothold for business startups. A society of 3 zeros filled with smiling faces cannot be realized by Yoshimoto alone. It is possible only when each and every one of you actually takes action. We are only the catalyst of this initiative. We would very much like to ask for your help in creating and continuing this initiative. Let us come together to make Okinawa a social business island.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Hiroshi-san, for your absolutely fantastic example. How do you use good humor, okay, to make sure that the power of entertainment, okay, and its ability to reach out is done in a sensitive manner and on scale. Okay, this is something that is very, very important. And we look forward to continued great successes. And maybe someday we might like to learn from your experience as far as India is concerned. But before that, I mean, before we go to the next speaker, I'm so excited to see one of my favorite persons on this planet. Okay, Professor Muhammad Yunus. Okay, and just to say, sir, it's such a delight to see you. And may I request you to kindly give a few remarks after the other two speakers. We have two more speakers. If they've spoken, then your words of wisdom will be. But I must say, I'm so absolutely excited. Okay, I'm also excited to have with us Paul Tergat, who's an Olympic medalist. Okay,
Yes.
my late mother. Okay, she would have been absolutely delighted because she was herself, a medal-winning national level athlete. So I'm just so delighted to hear Dr. Paul Tergat. Professor Yunus, with your permission, may I invite Dr. Tergat to speak, and then we can go to you.
Please go ahead.
Okay.
What a pleasure to have Paul here. Wonderful to see you, Paul.
Over to you, Paul.
Thank you very much, Prof. And it's nice to see all of you. And I want to say that, as you have heard, that my name is Paul Tergat, and I am an IOC member and from Kenya. I want to say that from listening to what you have, the other speakers have just said, I want sincerely to say thank you for inviting IOC to be part of this plenary session at this important and unique conference. A former East African nation founding president, sometimes many years ago, Julius Nyerere, once referred to his neighboring country as a man-eat-man society. While the truth or otherwise about this remark is left to historians and economists to confirm, the current unethical accumulation of wealth and obscene profits by a few may as well lend truth to that claim by former president. Such an approach to enterprise and other ventures is harmful to both humanity and the environment because of its tendencies to use unsustainable means for profit's sake. The danger with such a narrow and short-term approach of doing businesses is the consequences it will bring by compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. This is not a sustainable development. It is destruction. The UN Sustainable Development Goal number 12 calls for responsible consumption and production that promote resource and energy efficiency and access to basic services, green, decent jobs, and a better quality of life for all. This is where sports become a very attractive platform for attaining what has been described in this conference as the 3-0 person creating 3-0 world, building a new civilization before the current civilization destroys us all. The International Olympic Committee has been a very focal on sustainable approach to sporting, including a requirement for Olympic Games bidding host cities to demonstrate sustainability in its facility development, games implementation, delivery, and legacy used before hosting rights are granted to them. This is part of IOC showing leadership in greening the sports industry, which also calls upon sports actors to incorporate climate change in their business models. Sports facilities are encouraged to be environmentally sensitive in their energy use, ensure less pollution and greenhouse gas emission, plus practice waste generation management, to mention but a few. Indeed, as noted, the Olympic movement is in itself a not-for-profit huge and I repeat, huge social business enterprise whose revenues are invested in worthy causes that are aimed at a better world using sports. In order to hasten progress towards creating people who are architects of their future, we must empower the youth with opportunities and resources to chart their meaningful course and leadership potential ahead. Once again, I want to say this: sports become extremely relevant agent for social investment because of its ability to promote equity and inclusion. Sports is a major employer and economic factor for sustainable development because of its values of fair play, respect, team effort, friendliness. Whenever it is celebrated, sports convey socially responsible message to fans of all political and economic stripes. As a mobilizing and a communication tool, the social value of sports becomes so central to humanity because as people engage in sports and creation, it helps them improve their individual physical and mental development. For the young people, this has the potential to lead to talents and skills development for the job market and self-development as elite athletes. Therefore, sport has shown its effectiveness to contribute to the elimination of reduction of crime in disadvantaged areas, foster social cohesion, and community development. As a former athlete, now sitting at the sports leadership level, also serving at the UN World Food Program as an ambassador against the hunger school feeding program, I'm a testimony of what sports can bring as a social investment. We can solve and achieve a lot of progress, particularly using this innovative social business model, because by the chairman of the Yunus Center and 2006 Nobel Peace Prize, Mohammed Yunus, for a better tomorrow for us all. So I want to say this with what, maybe in conclusion, I want to say again, it is nice to listen to all of you, and I'm happy that I'm part of this meeting. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Paul Tergat, for your excellent intervention, showing how the power of sport, okay, can be used to move us towards the world of 3 zeros. And of course, my mother used to say former athlete, but sports person always.
Yes.
That never goes away. So I would really like to sort of, thank you for your intervention, and now request Professor Vishwajit Ghosh to make his intervention. Vishwajit, please.
Thank you, Mr. Kumar. Good evening, Professor Yunus, Lamia, and all my 3-0 friends across the world. What a pleasure it is to be part of this Social Business Day. So today's idea, or rather the theme, need to become 30% to create a 3-0 world. Sir, it reminds me of a very interesting quote I had read some time back, which says, let's be somebody who makes everybody feel like a somebody. And I think what you're trying to achieve, the world of 3 zeros, where everyone is empowered, is probably a reflection of this truth. Now, I was reading your book, A World of 3 Zeros, where you covered the section on youth, energizing and empowering the young people of the world. So today, the young people of the world is eager to find a solution, and they will make the effort to make it a 3-0 world. So we just need to make sure we empower them. So how do you do that? I have a few thoughts I've been discussing with a lot of people, including, great guys in the 3-0 world community, Mustafiz, Zenat, and others. So I wanted to share a small presentation. Can I share my screen?
Please go ahead.
Okay. So here we are talking about, how do we build scale in the world of 3 zeros? And we are seeing that the 3 0 movement is building up. And studying the concept of 3 zeros, seeing what Yunus Social Business Center is doing, we thought that, probably we look at synergy to build the scale. And what do we have today? Today we have the YSBCs reaching its 100 landmark, and I'm sure it will grow further. When I hear all the speakers of the various YSBC centers across the world coming up with wonderful thoughts, insights, I'm extremely keen to work and understand more of these concepts and how we leverage this huge community of 100 universities. It's a huge thing that we have so many academicians across the world. And so here we are talking about the 300 odd clubs becoming 3,000, 30,000, and much more beyond. So what we need to also understand that, as we build scale, we need to be also ready for scale. So what we have today is we have the 3 0 clubs, the YSBCs, part of the Grameen ecosystem, and they are excellent tools to achieve the 3 0 world, but probably we can make better use of it by collaborating together. So this is what we feel is a sort of a game changer. The teacher mentorship, because the 3 0 young people are young, raw in the colleges, in the school system. They need a support system. They need to be nurtured, they need to be supported, and they will do wonders. So we are talking about creating a joint program between the two. And we also empower the teachers who are connected with YSBCs beyond just the directors and stuff. That's a huge community who can become mentors to the youth of the world. Incidentally, yesterday I saw this, and this was presented by Dr. Mai Thai of HEC Canada. And what a fantastic program this is, the social business creation. I mean, if I look at the journey of understanding entrepreneurship by young minds, the theory part and the practice part, and when I see this confluence of these 3 circles, so today, if we have the social business learner network supported by the scholar network of YSBCs, and they become the social business practitioners, they will create the world of tomorrow. So probably it looks something like this. Today, the 3 0 clubs have workshops, online platforms, connectivity. What they get more knowledge, they get guidance, they get accreditation, they get mentorship to scale up further. And on the other side, the YSBCs, the teaching community, which is also huge, they become oriented to act as mentors. And trust me, in a lot of conversations with teachers, I have realized that they are extremely eager to play a more active role, because they find meaning in their lives, in their education, if they're able to influence, say, 100 odd children in their colleges who are interested. So if we create this ecosystem which nurtures the youth of today, what we see is the end result of creating a world of 3 zeros much, much faster. Thank you, Mustafiz and Zeenat and others for sort of, giving good inputs as well. And thank you everyone for your time today. Thank you.
Thank you, Bishita, for explaining us very well in harness the YSBCs and the teacher community for these clubs. I mean, the bit, I would sort of not stand in the way. And certainly, I'm very keen to hear Dr. Muhammad Yunus, offer his advice, guidance, and blessings, as he always does. Dr. Yunus, I request you to
Okay, you want me to speak now?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Well, I'm delighted that I could get the floor. I was thrilled by this particular session. In general, I'm very thrilled by the Social Business Day itself. I keep telling that this is our family reunion. So we have all our family members together. It's like Christmas for us, having all the family members together, enjoy and see each other and talk to each other, see what's planned they have and so on. It's like Eid, having a celebration. So this is a kind of a feeling that I have during this Social Business Day. And within that celebration, this particular session makes it a very special thrill of my celebrations. This is because all my closest friends are here. We started talking about Susan Gibson, who was as a young girl, she came to Bangladesh at a time where she mentioned that there is no internet or anything. Quite a courage that she had to take and come here. And since then, for 30 years, we're together in all the things that she has been doing, all the things she is promoting about everything that we do. So it's a fantastic thing to have her here. Susan, so wonderful to see you come here and talk to us again about the things that we do. And then about Osaki-san. His company, Yoshimoto, is a company of comedians, managing the calendars of comedians. Whoever thought the organization of comedians will be interested in social business? And not only interested, it's a global phenomenon. Everybody, all the comedians now under the leadership of Osaki-san is focused on the social business in their own neighborhood, in their own prefectures, and so on. So this is fantastic thing for someone like Osaki, how an inspiring person he can be. Now he wants to take the Okinawa, the whole island, as a social business island. What a great idea that they're creating as a part of his initiative, the Yoshimoto's social action program, which he has created a separate company, Yoshimoto Social Action. Is a social business company. That social business company is now taking over the Okinawa as an island to make it a social business island. And then we have Dr. Paul Target, the president of IOC, called me up. He said, you wanted me to come, but my circumstances right now is not allowing me to come, but I'm sending someone I like very much. So it's not only representing IOC, not only representing Thomas Bach, he's representing as someone who is very close, very dear to Thomas Bach. So we're very happy to have you, Paul, that being here, because we became very close to IOC. I had nothing to do with the sports. You are the sportsman, you are the winner, medal winners, and so on. I have nothing of that credential myself. But something that I was saying, that the sports is a big power, huge power, but totally unused for social purposes. It's used for commercial purposes, but never for social purposes. And I give examples how it can be transformed into a social force. And that was liked by all the members of the IOC committee. And they invited me to see what can be done. And we did lots of things, and we are still doing lots of things. We became very close IOC. And in the process, I got the Olympic laurel in the Tokyo Olympic. This brings us together again on the sports area, in the sports arena. So good to see you and say hello to Thomas Bach, that we enjoyed so much that you came and you could participate and talk to us on the future of social business in the sports world. And then Bishwajit Ghosh is, of course, is a fantastic person, suddenly came to our association and got so much involved. He's now more than a family member. So he can come, he can drop in anytime, anywhere. He's absolutely a very, very close person. So it's a whole session is full of that. And Daniel's organization became very close to us, Y Foundation. That shows very close. We are working together in Africa. So there's another person. And all the people who are in this particular session kind of selected for me so that it becomes a super close and exciting thing for me. And then come the Suraj, top of it all. Suraj, from a distance, he has been such a strong support. He's been writing about us, he's been talking to us, and he's attending the conferences and speaking about social business and so on. Suraj, I'm so happy that you take so much interest in the idea and the work that we do. So this has become a very special kind of session for me. So I want to thank you and express my gratitude for being with me on this occasion, because this is very important for me, because this is where we want to check out whatever we are doing. Are we in the right direction? What needs to be done? How this can be taken forward? Everything, it comes from your comments, your ideas. We take it from there and move to the next year, see how we can go. Thank you again. I'm very, very happy with you.
Thank you very much to Dr. Suraj and your distinguished panel for your insights and perspectives on how to become a 3.0 person to create a 3.0 world. I also want to say thank you to all the participants and our in-person audiences from Africa, University of Abome Kalavi, Catholic University of Zimbabwe. I think I saw Dr. Douglas somewhere there. Thank you so much. Makerere University Business School, and also Kampala International University. At this point, I would like to invite all the participants to turn on their cameras so that we could take a picture. Please turn on your camera. Aziz, it's a 3.0 world.
That's right.
Yeah. Aziz, tell me once you're done.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank
Please,
you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We have
Thank you
an
very much.
exciting session. Please,
Thank you.
we are announcing the winners for the social business design competition. You don't want to miss this. Let's join in on the next session. Thank you and bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Robert.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. Happy birthday,
Thank you,
Professor
Suraj.
Yunus.
Thank you. Thank you, Susan.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank
Bye, everyone.